All right, let's talk hinges. So these are the bane of my existence. The biggest problem is that these have to be a super tight fit. If there's any amount of play, any amount of deviation in the fit, then you're gonna have parts where they kind of move like this. It's obviously exaggerating a lot, but if you're not happy with the fit and it's kind of moving way too much, there's going to be a little bit, just because there has to be. Then you can do a couple things. So one thing is you can try out different hinges. These hinges are actually OEM and they're actually bad. You shouldn't be able to turn them this easily. There's hardly any force. So what that's going to mean is the screen's going to kind of flop around in this direction pretty easily. So, but what I'm talking about is trying to improve when they're moving like this. When you put in your hinges and you feel like it's moving all over the place. And of course, this is assuming that you did put in the bushings. So the bushings go into the side here of this piece. These little hex bushings, so there's not metal on metal contact. They fit in right there and drop in right there. You kind of hold them with your finger and just guide them in. Don't scratch your parts. And then put this in here. Once you have your bushings in, you'll be at a kind of an angle and you push in your bushings. So in order to fix, say if you had some parts, maybe these parts are on the high side of the tolerance, so they're extra big, and maybe your hinges, you just want to dial that in. So far, what I found the best way, and you may have a better way, let me know. But I've used this to fix a couple. I use glue, so super glue, so the CA glue. This brand has a few different viscosities. So they have thin, thick, medium. I use thick if I'm doing something like this. So just real quick here, I use a really small little brush. And get that out of the way so I don't tip it over. So what I'm going to try to do is get this on this white part first, at least at a minimum. So on this OD right here, and try not to get anything in this interface between these two parts. These parts need to slide. So you could put some blue painter's tape maybe. All you're trying to do is just build up the material a little bit. We're talking fractions of a millimeter, probably 0.1 millimeter. So right here, I just was kind of showing you, there's these little grooves shown by this black here, and 180 degrees, there's another groove. You can't see it very well, but so those grooves are what are keying this part in so it doesn't rotate. That, and there's also flats. There's two flats here, and there's two grooves here. So you can go anywhere. I would maybe not go in those grooves, those deep grooves there for the keys. It may make it a little too hard to get in, but find what works best for you. So I'd paint this around here, all the way around, all the way in here. And then you have your CA activator, spray that on, and it hardens instantly. From there, you can just install your hinges as you normally would and see if it fixes your problem. It may scrape off after you remove them because this is kind of a smooth, really smooth plastic, Delrin probably, or acid. Yeah. And you may have to build it up again. So it's just one of those things where, frankly, it just sucks. But until I can make my own hinges, which I've actually thought of doing a way to make my own hinge, I'm just not there yet. We kind of got to figure out ways to work with what we have, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. So good luck. And if anyone else knows any better ways of doing it, let me know. I'd appreciate it. But hopefully your hinges go in and you're okay with it and it works well. And hopefully this helped someone who does have a loose hinge. So, all right, that's it.